All around me are familiar faces, worn-out places, worn-out faces. Bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. And I find it kind of funny, find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Find it hard to tell you, find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun, shaking off the heavy one. Yeah, heavy like a loaded gun. What made me behave that way? Using words I never say. But I can only think this must be love. Well, anyway, it's looking like a beautiful day. How's it going, folks? This is Wayne R back with another lesson, and today I'm continuing a little short series I'm doing of songs that I think every sort of strummer, singer, or even if you don't sing, these are songs everybody should know if you're into my taste of music, that is. So we're looking at two great songs today, which is Tears for Fears and Mad World, also covered by Gary Jules for the Donnie Darko soundtrack. So this is sort of a version of somewhere in between the two. And also Elbow, One Day Like This. Both great songs and fairly easy to play as well, both of these songs. You're going to need a capo obviously for both of the songs. I'll talk about that in the tutorial in a second. I've also done these songs as standalone lessons as well, so if you want to look into the songs in a little bit more detail, because I'm going to be a little bit more vague about these lessons, you know, you're getting two for the price of one, but I will talk about the chords and very briefly about the strumming pattern. But both of these songs have got little riffs in as well, Mad World and Elbow. So if you want to go and check the standalone lessons out, I have done these over the years. The reason I'm doing this is just to get the songs out there again and get people playing these songs. You know, these are great songs to be able to, you know, play and learn. It's obviously coming up to summertime here now in the UK, so barbecue season, festival season, these are great songs to play. So this is part two in a series that I'm currently doing. Part one had Wonderwall, which every guitarist should know, and there was a Green Day one there as well, so good riddance, time of your life. You want to go and check that lesson out if you haven't already seen it. Now, if you want the chords, lyrics and strumming patterns to a lot of these songs that I do, you know, particularly these two songs, everything I've done over the past 3.5 years, go and check my Patreon page out. So there's a link to that in the comments. I'll also put a link in the description. And the way that works, you just click on the link, sign up for as little as a couple of quid a month or however much you guys want to pledge. It's all very much appreciated. All generally goes back into the lessons, and as I said, it gives you guys access to all of those chords, lyrics, strumming patterns, particularly over everything I've done over the past 3.5 years. There's also some exclusive videos that are on YouTube. There's a lot of videos from the archive, and there's stuff to coincide with a lot of the technique lessons I've done as well. So what you're waiting for, link in the comments, link in the description. If you don't want to do that and you'd like to show some appreciation in a different way by making a small donation, I've got a new feature which is a super thanks link, and you'll find that just under the video there. Also, thanks for your continued support. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed and continues to do so. Now, if you haven't done already and you want to keep up to date with all the videos that are put out, there's a little notification bell that's just under the video there. If you also want to go and click on that, you'll get notified every time I put a video out. And if you want to also go over and give me a like on social media, I'd really appreciate that. So I'm Wayne R Guitar on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now also TikTok, as I always say. I'm trying to get down with the kids. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so both of these songs that we're looking at today are both in standard tuning, but as you can see, you're going on the capo on the first fret for both of the songs that we're looking at. So if you look at the Tears for Fears one first, this is pretty straightforward. The intro is going to be an E minor, that goes for a bar, and then we're going to go to an A major for a bar. Now all the chords all the way through for the song go for a bar, so this is a great song if you're just getting into singing and playing as well. This is a great one to get down. because it's reasonably straightforward. So the intro is just going from the E minor to the A, so what we get is... Okay, a good strumming pattern on this, you can either use just a straight pattern, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, but it just gives it a little bit more swing if we miss that first upstroke out. So what we get is a down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if you hear that around the chords. Okay, so that's going to be the intro. The verse chords are an E minor, a G, it's up to you what G you use. I personally like to use the 4-finger G, a D and an A, and that cycle keeps going around. So what we get is, all around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Okay, so that's going to be a verse. Your pre-chorus is just going from the E minor to the A again, and also the chorus is exactly the same. So what we get is, and I find it kind of funny, find it kind of sad. Dreams in which we're dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Okay? That all repeats again. That's pretty much all you're going to need for that song. Like I say, a really easy one, nice one to get down if you're just getting into singing. Okay, so the elbow song, obviously, as I said, we're keeping the capo on the 1st fret. So the first chord we need is going to be an E chord, an E major. Okay, the second chord, we're going to slide that up. So my 2 fingers are now on the 7th fret relative to the capo, 1st finger 6th fret. So if we work that out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 1st finger, 7th fret with the 2 fingers, but I'm still keeping that E shape. The only difference is we're not playing the low E string, we're just playing sort of, you know, from the A string downwards. The next chord, we're just going to move that up another 2 frets. So now the 2 fingers are on the 9th fret and the 1st finger is on the 8th fret. As I said, we're still doing that E shape, and then we move it back down again, 2 frets, and then we go back to the E chord. So if we see how that works with the words, we got drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun, shaking off a heavy one, yeah, heavy like a loaded gun. Okay, now a good strumming pattern around those chords is a down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up. Okay, so after you've gone through the verse, there's this little break part, so we could either just stay on the E chord, that's a simple way you could do it. Now we switch to downstrokes. It's gonna be a beautiful day. I think it's more effective if you do the E chord sort of as a power chord shape. So my 1st finger is now on the 7th fret on the A string relative to the capo. My 3rd finger is on the D on the 9th fret, also relative to the capo. Little pinky, 9th fret on the G. So 1st finger A, 3rd finger D string, little finger, that's on the G. Okay, and the beauty with this, we can play all the other strings open, so we get this really lush sounding E chord. So what we get is, okay, so that all goes around again, and the ending is just going from an E chord to a D to an A. So what we get is, all those curtains white, one day like this you would see me right for life. And that continues all the way to the end of the song, and that is pretty much all you're going to need. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Hope you all dug those 2 songs, and as I always say at this point in my lessons, come on, if you don't like those songs, you don't like music. But as I said, this is part 2 in a series that I'm doing. of songs that I think every acoustic guitarist, if you're a singer, a strummer, ideally, these are songs that you should be able to play. And these two songs are great because they're fairly easy as well. I think when you're a beginner, you tend to learn sort of bits of songs. I was always guilty for this. I can remember learning just the verse chords to Wonderwall. But these are perfect songs to sit down and learn as a whole because, you know, there's not a lot to them really, but they're great songs that every sort of campfire guitarist, as I call them, if you're a singer, a strummer, should be able to play. So there we go. Obviously, summer is fastly approaching in the UK, those very rare days where we actually get sunshine. You know, these are great songs to play at barbecues or it's festival season. Anyone that owns an acoustic guitar, you know, these are great ones to be able to play. So there we go. And as I said, this is part 2 in a short series I'm doing. If you haven't seen part 1, we talked about Wonderwall, we talked about Green Day, Time of Your Life. You know, 2 other great songs to be able to play. So we're going to check that lesson out soon. And look out for part 3, that's coming very soon. So thanks for your continued support. Thanks everyone who's subscribed and continues to do so. Now, if you haven't done already, a further way that you can help me out and yourselves out, as I said in the intro, by keeping up to date with the videos, is hitting that little notification bell. The Patreon page, there's a link to that in the comments, also the description. That gives you a link to all the, you know, chords, lyrics and strumming patterns that I do. I put it all up on my Patreon page, so go and check that out. The Super Thanks link, if you want to go and check that out, if you'd like to make a small donation, that would be hugely appreciated. And another way that you can help me out, this doesn't cost you guys a penny, but I always say word of mouth is a real powerful thing. So if you dig what I do, please like and share my lessons, tell your friends, tell your work colleagues. Anyone, you know, plays guitar, please point them in my direction. I really appreciate that. So that just leaves me to say, whatever time of day it is you're watching, maybe morning, day, night, thank you very much. And I'll catch you all for lesson very soon. Take care.